But the coming back was not a straightforward thing either. And I think that's important to note because I think a lot of people who are interested in moving to Ghana think that they can just up and go and then that's it. Like that was not the case for me or most people that I know.
So I'm here with Sharifah at Front Back in Accra. Thanks so much for taking the time today. And I just want to find out, you know, where you were born and what's brought you here to this moment, because you've been up to so many exciting things that, I'd just love to know that journey.
Sharifah is a producer and creative consultant living and working in Accra, Ghana. She was the Ghana unit producer for Black is King, a film by Beyonce, available exclusively on Disney+. She was also the producer on A Great Day in Ghana, a short film commissioned by Apple, and she was also the production assistant on Black Earth Rising for Netflix.
I was born in Ghana. My parents are both Ghanaian. I was born in Takwa in the Western region. And I only lived in Ghana for the first 8 months of my life. We moved to Canada after that, spent 8 years there, and then moved to Saudi Arabia. So my parents are actually still in Saudi, but obviously I am not. I live here in Ghana right now. But the path from, Saudi to being here in Ghana involved high school in Canada, undergraduate in Canada, moved back to Ghana actually for a year before going to grad school in New York. And that year in Ghana was strategically to get into grad school. So I moved to Ghana with a camera and a dream. And basically I was applying for a media studies master's program and only one media studies master's program. So I was like, all right, this is the only school I want to go to. Why would they accept me? I haven't really done much in the field of media because prior to that I'd been studying development and health and had been coming to Ghana to do volunteer placements, working with NGOs and then governmental organizations in devs and health. But in the course of those placements, I kind of realized that, wait, I could, combine my interest in media, which is film and photography, with what I've been studying, because I had a supervisor ask me if I had a camera to bring to a program and document it for their sponsors. And I said, this is totally someone's job, isn't it? Like to create this kind of content for, the World Health Organization or UNICEF. So I was like, it should be my job. So I went back to school, took my first media studies course. This is in my undergraduate. Really loved it and realized that, I want to study this more. Because at the time, I was of the mind that you have to go to school to learn things. I don't necessarily think that that's true anymore. But at the time, that's what I thought. So I was like, all right, I want to study this more. I have to go to school for it. I looked at different media master's programs, really liked the one in the new school, and also liked the fact that I would get to live in New York. So I was like, all right, I want to go there, but why would they accept me? So I was like, all right, cool. I have a place to stay in Accra. We had a house. I had family here. My older sister was here. And yeah, as I mentioned, I had my camera, and I'm not a shy person. I've never been a shy person. So I was like, pretty sure if I just get to Ghana, I'll find something to do that, will help me in my quest to get into grad school. And boy, did I ever. I got involved in so many things to the point where I obviously got into the school, but I and the many people that I had met were like, where are you going and why? Like, why do you have all this work here? Because I literally was getting hired for jobs that I had no business doing. Like, I was even confused as to how these people were finding me. Like, international clients being like, oh, I saw your LinkedIn, or I saw your Tumblr portfolio. And I was like, okay, sure. And also the camera I was using at the time, because I was teaching myself as well. And that's kind of what made me realize that you don't necessarily have to go to school for things. So I was teaching myself how to do everything, through YouTube tutorials and blog posts. This is 2012. And once I got to school and started learning time-based media methods, I was like, oh, it's the same thing. Wait a minute.
And you could probably learn it in
less time and thousands less dollars. So I was like, wait a minute. But that's not the only reason, obviously, that you pursue higher education. Obviously, there are other benefits, and I don't regret it. But I definitely think that, any of you watching, if you think that you need to go to school, figure out if you really do, because you might not actually need to. You could probably teach yourself, or you might need to. It depends, obviously, on what you're studying or what you're interested in. But that was the reason I came to Ghana, got into grad school, left, but then I came back. But the coming back was not a straightforward thing either. And I think that's important to note because I think a lot of people who are interested in moving to Ghana think that they can just up and go and then that's it. Like that was not the case for me or most people that I know. Because I think a lot of people are interested in coming to Ghana, but it's never, I mean, it's rarely a one and done situation. For me, I was in and out like for years. Even after like the new school, I was 6 months in Toronto, 6 months in Accra because I was trying to figure out where I would stay as far as where I will make the most money, where I would be the happiest. And I thought I'd make more money in Canada, and maybe that could have been true, but I'm very glad that I didn't choose Canada because of all the other things that, I've been able to do in the years since. I decided, I think about 2017 or 2016, that, it was Ghana for me. Let me just make a go of it full time. I'm not going back and forth. And yeah, it was a very good decision on my part because of, the work opportunities that arose and presented themselves to me like swiftly upon making that decision. And they led to, where I'm at right now. So yeah.
So when you first moved, or when you were first sort of trialing the move, what was the pros that you found, and also like the cons and some sticky
so
parts?
Pros and cons. I mean, I think it also depends on like, and this is another thing that I always, when people say that they're interested, I always talk through with them because I live rent-free. Living rent-free means that I'm not paying rent. Obviously, that's what it means. But like, that's a very important thing because in Ghana, you pay your rent, in cash for a year, sometimes upwards of 2. So that's, a hefty chunk of change. Also, people think that if you move to Ghana and you live in Ghana, you're going to be living like a lower cost of life. Depends on how you want to live your life. Because if you want to be at Front Back or or at Sky Bar, and that's not necessarily to say that that's what I do all the time. I love balance, a bit of both. But like if you want to do things that are similar to things that maybe you do outside of Ghana, it's going to cost you. So you have to factor in how much are you making versus how much are you spending, and that kind of like responsible budgeting. It's just like, I don't love it, but if I had to, I think also, and also with Ghana as well, a lot of people who want to move to Ghana, they come from Ghanaian parentage background, they have family here. Family is a blessing and a curse, I would say, because, well, not a curse, that sounds terrible. Family is amazing, but family can also have a lot of expectations on you and your time. And my family actually doesn't really, but I have heard this from other people. So most of my family actually doesn't live in Accra, so maybe that's part of it. But my family that does live in Accra, they're awesome. Shout out to you guys if you see this. But yeah, I feel like that's been a complaint that I've heard other people say is like, oh, I would love to come back to Ghana, but family, the demands of family and all that stuff. So yeah, there's a lot to take into account. I think for me, it was kind of a no-brainer as far as like the pros for me and the cons for me. I mean, infrastructurally, there are certain cons as far as, access to secure Wi-Fi and steady electricity and things like that. But because I was here on and off for so long, I was used to them. Yeah. But I think if you came for the first time and you didn't know these things, it would be a shock. It would be a shock. I was not shocked by the time I decided to, make a go of it. But yeah, I think it just depends, and you have to. Honestly, my biggest advice for anyone is just come for a little bit and then leave, and then come for a longer bit and then leave, because you can't just come once. I don't think it's possible. I feel like it's too much to ask of yourself, honestly. And I feel like it's not fair on Ghana either. Like, you have expectations based on where you're from, but you're not in that same place. And I think also because I grew up all over the place, I don't have such rigid expectations of any place, because I can go with the flow. But not everybody is like that. Some people are, they like what they like. And if you are that person, I don't know if Ghana is for you. Just saying.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, you have to be able to be patient.
Yeah, patient and resilient.
Yes,
honestly.
yes.
I mean, even like I've had meetings. To be honest, I was even late for this meeting because people were late.
So yeah, exactly.
So basically, it pushes your schedule back, and then you end up being late. So everything's late, and I don't like being late, but there's really nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing you can do.
And you have to just kind of like be like, all right, well, this is just the way it is.
Exactly. It's the way it is, and it's like, obviously, to the best of your ability, try not to be. But if it is, I feel like most people will understand, obviously, depending on the seriousness of whatever your meeting is. But yeah, I think generally people are quite easygoing, maybe too easygoing to be honest. But like this is not a bashing Ghana sesh. I love Ghana so much. And honestly, I'm an easygoing person, but I also like don't play around with work. So it can be tricky sometimes, but again, just patience and resilience and chill. You just have to be chill because it will test your chill.
So I guess what is it you really love about living in Ghana?
I love so many things about living in Ghana. I mean, weather, the beach, my friends, the creative community, how inspiring everything is. The wache. My list is long. It's a really complicated question for me to answer. But yeah, I mean, I think just I compare it to the quality of life that I would have living in Toronto, and I know what that is because I've been in and out, and also my younger sister still lives there, so I often go to visit her, and I feel like there are good things about any place and also bad things about any place, but overall the good outweighs the bad for me here in Ghana at least.
And now you have recently produced a section of Black is King, Beyonce's new film. So obviously you are high achieving in what you do. How did you get into that specifically?
So when I'm gonna take it back. Okay, so when I started off in Ghana, when I moved here, when I was trying to get into grad school, I was doing a lot of videography, and that was mostly like documentary kind of stuff. So events sometimes initially, but then I switched into just kind of documenting happenings for organizations, for civil society groups. I was more in like the tech and development kind of side of things at the time, although I was involved in the creative community as far as like, I would attend events and I was supporting people who were doing things. I still do those things. And often I would actually, shoot events for like small NGOs or, creative orgs that were doing cool things here in Accra. And this was not just because I was trying to get into grad school, it's also because I was just very interested in what was happening. And I felt like people need to know about this because I can see it. If I was outside and I saw this, it would really excite me. So I had made a Tumblr page. I was posting a lot about the cool things I was coming across in Ghana, and obviously on Facebook. In those days I was on Facebook, not anymore. Who's on Facebook? Sorry if you're on Facebook, I'm not judging you, but like Instagram only, @Sharifah, follow me. But anyways, what I was doing with videography in those days is what I do with my Instagram now, as far as like showcasing what's happening in Ghana, because I think if it wasn't for those first friends, like I said, I wouldn't live here. But if I'd had an like a resource that showed me, like your YouTube channel does, that showed me the cool things that were happening here, I might have come to the realization that Ghana is great a lot sooner and like wasted less time hating it. I mean, I didn't hate it, but you know what I mean, dreading it. But anyway, so yeah, I was doing videography, and one of the because I think I mentioned I had a Tumblr page, and Joshua Kissy, who at the time was a part of Street Etiquette, was following the page, which was really exciting for me because he was like the coolest guy in the Ghanaian diaspora at the time. And when I went to New York, we actually meant to connect, but we never ended up meeting up, scheduling and all. And then it was in 2017 that we actually first met in person. And at that point in time, I had just finished work on a Netflix documentary, or not documentary, a Netflix limited series. It was Netflix and the BBC called Black Earth Rising. So that was shot.
Oh my gosh, amazing! Did you work on that?
Yeah, yeah. So that's out there. I'm getting to the story of how everything happened. So yeah, I worked on that, which was like kind of my first production job. Like I'd previously been doing videography, but hadn't really done, and I was kind of falling out of love with videography because I used to shoot and edit myself, and as you do, you understand how it is.
It's very long.
It's very long. Yeah. You people, all the content that you're chopping for free, you don't know the work that goes into this. Anyway, so I was like, I don't know that I love this anymore. So I was trying to figure out something else to do. Started, align with my sister's the robes, Cofi. And really like thank you. And we had just started these, and then I also got tapped to work on that project, and it was like so much was happening at once. I actually said no initially to Black Earth Rising because the role that I was offered was a bigger role than I also thought that I could do. I'm one of those people who I'll take on challenges if I think it's within my capability, and I'll really take on like a challenge. Like I'm not one of those people who's like, oh no, it's not for me. Like if I think I can do it, I'll do it. But if I know that I can't do it, I won't do it, because I would never want to take on something and do a bad job. And then that's on me, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like I agreed to do this thing. So like that one, the role they offered me was like larger than I had previously done, because I had previously never worked in production. And I was like, what? And so I said no, because also we were launching these and we were doing production. It was a whole lot of work as far as like finding, our just sorting things out basically. But then the producers came back to me and said, you know what, like, we can offer you a smaller role as a production assistant. We think you should do this. And I was like, you know what, actually I would love to do this, and I'll just not sleep and I'll make it work. So I really didn't sleep and I made it work. But it was cool because that, I don't know if you saw that show.
Do you know what? I was so sad. I really loved Michaela Cole.
Yeah.
And I was following her religiously on Instagram
Yeah.
at that time. She used to post a lot.
Yeah.
But it was only available for a limited time or something.
Right,
and then
right.
it was available out of the country.
Yeah.
Or was it even
because it was Netflix,
available in the
BBC,
UK?
so it would have been in the UK at some point, but probably when it finished the air, like the run, then they would have made it like.
Yeah, it was then not available
Yeah.
in the UK, and
Oh,
it was
that's
available
annoying.
outside,
That's so
and I was
annoying.
really gutted because I missed it.
Yeah, so what's wild is because like the wild thing about it is I agreed to work on the project without knowing she was involved. I saw her on set the first day and I said, excuse me, what? Because I love her too. So I was like, wait a minute. Like, why didn't you tell me that Michaela Cole was in this? And they're like, oh, we thought we did. I said, you definitely did not.
Surely that's a big selling point.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad they didn't tell me because I might have agreed like off the jump to that bigger role that I really had no business doing.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that it worked out in the way that it did. But also we became friends, like myself and Michaela, through like working on the project, and that ties into Joshua. So Joshua came to Ghana that Christmas. She stayed in Ghana after we finished shooting. We were all hanging out because they had a mutual friend, and that was when, because he previously known me to be a videographer. He didn't know that I was now doing production. I mean, I was doing production. I'd done my first thing in production, but I was a producer now. And so I'm very happy that he got to know this, because the following year he reached out to me and was like, hey, Sharifah, like, I know you're a producer. And I said, am I? But he was like, yeah, I have this project for Apple. We're doing a short film. And he was like, I'd love you, to come on as a producer. And I said, okay. Because again, if I can do something, I'll do it. It was a smaller project, short film, shot on iPhone, really cool. And I was like, this one I can figure it out. And I'm also one of those people who asks for help, because it's very, ask for help, people. Don't think you can't, like, don't think you can do everything yourself. It's very important to ask for help. So with this project, I, reached back to the producers who'd hired me to work on Black Earth Rising, and, got there, because we shot at Independence Square. And if you know anything about production, and the bureaucracy of production worldwide, but especially in Ghana, you have to get all these sorts of permits. So I said, I needed to make sure, we have everything. We can't have people showing up on the day of and no shoot. So, everything got sorted. It all went well. Josh was happy, which led to the following year, this past year, when he reached out to me again, saying, well, he didn't say anything. He said, I want to hire you for something, but you have to sign an NDA. And I said, what is that? I knew what an NDA was, but I said, like, what is so serious that you need to sign an NDA, or I need to sign an NDA before you can even tell me what the thing is? I don't know why my mind immediately jumped to Beyonce. It really should have.
Oh, did it?
It didn't.
Oh, it did
it. Did it.
Oh, right,
It did
okay,
it.
I thought you said it
I
did.
should have, but I was just like, okay, cool. Like, and also, I like working with Josh. He's like he's really talented. I mean, obviously, he's super, super talented, but sometimes people are talented, but they're not nice. He's talented and he's so nice. Like, it's like a pleasure to work with. So like, anything he wants at any time, like, I'll always say yes if I'm free, obviously. So I was like, already in my head, I said, whatever it is, I'm down. But when I found out, obviously, I was even more excited because it's like, what? But more, I was excited, obviously, like, okay, this is cool for me, but more I was excited because like would be huge for Ghana. Like what this would mean for Ghana is major. And in the work that I do, I mean, I do a lot of things outside of production. I also work in tourism. Obviously, I design, and I do events and a few other things. But we're talking about production right now, so let's focus. So yeah, so I mean, through all of those things that I do, though, like Ghana is the muse, Ghana is the focus. So I was just like, yeah, this is gonna be cool, because there's a lot of outside, brands and businesses that come and shoot projects in Ghana. Obviously, I've worked on some of them myself. But most of the time when these things happen, they don't hire locally. They bring outside talent to do the work that potentially local people could do. Obviously, not everyone is able or capable, but many are. And as soon as this happened, I said, this is going to be good, because it'll show people, it's a model for people to know that, it can be done. You don't have to bring, everybody from outside. Obviously, certain roles, you need a specific creative eye or vision for a job, but I don't think there's any instance in which you need an entirely foreign crew. You know what I mean? And also, it's to your benefit to have local talent working on a project with you, because, they have cultural sensitivity that you might lack, and also cost-wise too, like not cost-wise in the sense of like, oh, you're hiring locally, so pay them less. Like, no, not that.
You have to bring people in.
Yeah, exactly. The cost of flights,
them.
Accommodation, all that stuff. So you're actually saving, and you're benefiting your project if you can find the right people. So that's the whole thing of it all. But anyways, I say all this to say I was excited. It happened. It was cool. it didn't come out for ages. At one point I was like, is it gonna happen? And like NDA, serious NDA, so like if it didn't happen, I would never be able to talk about it. So I was like, if this doesn't happen, so sad.
You have to dream about the fact
yeah, exactly. But it came out, I was really excited. And yeah, it's been really just going from strength to strength since. Like, so many things have been happening. Like, I'll leave you guys to see. Well, if you follow me on Instagram, you can see. But basically, it's just a super exciting time. And I feel like it's just an exciting time to be in Ghana, specifically Africa generally. Like, there's a lot of outside interest in what we're doing, you know, what we're producing, not just in terms of like film, but just content, creative content. Yeah, there's a lot of eyes on us. So I feel like we're poised to take advantage of these opportunities if we think smart, I guess, because I feel like sometimes people come in from outside and like it seems great, but also you have to be wary because not everybody has good intentions. I've experienced that myself. Yeah, I mean, we're not getting into this because I'm not a messy person, so we're not going to be messy. Not on YouTube. We can talk about this privately, off camera, off the record. But yeah, I mean, it's just, and nothing really in film related stuff, other things that I've done. But it's just like, I feel like you just need, like we as Africans need to like make sure that whatever we're working on, whatever projects, you know, we're getting involved in, like we benefit the most. We have to benefit the most. Like nobody else can, because like, what? Like you're gonna come and work in our country and like we're not, you know, reaping the most benefit out of this. Like, so that's why in the work that I do and also the work that I'm coming to do, because now I've kind of found myself in this weird niche of like creative consultancy. So, you know, I'm in a position where people are asking me about, you know, who should I talk to? And I'm like, well, this person. And my thing is, I stalk everybody. I know what everybody's doing. So I'm like, and it wasn't because I was doing it with any intention. It was just because I was curious.
What you're interested in.
And really interested in just like everybody in their lives and what they were working on and all that stuff. But yeah, I feel like now all of that knowledge is like a valuable resource, apparently. Like people will pay me for like my insight. And I'm like, what?
Your hours of Insta stalking.
Exactly, all my hours of Insta stalking, following people left, right, center. It's coming, you know, to fruition in terms of, you know, financial gain for me. And that's not ever why I was doing it before, but it's a cool side effect of it, for sure.
And you can like rise other people and
yes,
empower other
and that's my favorite thing to do, honestly. And that's why I was always doing this before I realized it was something I could do and get paid to do, because like it wasn't about making money for me. It was about putting people who needed to know each other in touch. Like that is easy for me. I often see the connections between like, oh, this person's in this corner doing something, this person's in this corner, like they need to be talking to each other. But like now I can do that and get paid. So it's really exciting. It's really exciting. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So your clothes, where can people buy them?
We sell them stocked in stores in Accra at Local House, the Shop Accra, and Anting Empire, which is their store, and also their store in the airport, which is, you know, nice to have some duty-free swag. But but we are also stocked in Abidjan, soon to be in Lagos, and are in talks with some places in New York and Toronto and Paris. So it's like it's exciting. But we also sell directly online. So the website is at Cofi.co, Kofie.co. We launched Cofi in 2017, so that's about 3 years now since we've launched. And we have only had one product, which is these robes. And initially it was a house coat that I made for myself, but people liked it, so I said, all right, cool, start selling these. And it's funny, because we've only had one product for 3 years, people think that we're a fashion brand, but we're actually not a fashion brand. We're meant to be like home goods, like home and lifestyle products. So this is a house coat, as I said, but we don't refer to it as such because we want people to think that they can wear it inside or outside or wherever they want to wear it. So we just call them robes, and they're unisex, so anybody can wear them. And yeah, we have not made other products because we're not trying to be like IKEA or anything like that. Like, we don't want to have products for the sake of having products. We want to put out products. Like, I'm the creative director, and it's myself and my sisters. One is director of operations, the other is director of communications. Shout out to Fozia and Janan. But we're not trying to put out products like all willy-nilly, because it's not about that. It's more about putting out products as, you know, the inspiration strikes something that, because with this product, the first product, our only product, I made it because I made it for myself. I liked it, I wanted it. So I bought the materials, like my seamstress, and then, you know, it was a hit. So I'm like, seems to be a winning formula. Like, I want to create things that I personally want in my house, and then hope that other people would also want them. And so we have really exciting stuff that's coming out. Our Instagram is at Cofi.co, Really, really cool stuff. And like, I would tell you, but I want to just like drop a bomb. Just like the surprise of it all. Because we did a super cool collaboration at the end of 2019. And that's why like 2019 ended, especially with the whole year of return, 2019 ended and I went on like 6 months Insta hiatus. Like nobody saw me or heard from me. Because the way I worked in the last like Q4 2019, it was serious. Because I was, worked on the project for Beyonce, as well as like a few other different things that are yet to be released. So I felt very fine taking all that time off because also living rent free, very important. If I had, to pay for the roof over my head, that would have been different. Would have been very different. But because I was just at home, I was like, all right, I'll eat Indomie and just, stay in my house and be broke, but it's okay because I needed to rest. Like that was one thing I think with this whole pandemic I realized is like, in a weird way, like not that a pandemic is a blessing, but for me, it was good to slow down and have no distractions because I realized that I get too excited by everything that's happening around me. And like I don't focus enough on my own things. Like I get involved in everybody else's things. I'm not doing that anymore. I mean, not that I'm not doing it, but I'm not going to do it to the extent that I did it before, which was to the detriment of my own ideas and projects. Because I have so many ideas, and they're actually good ones. Like sometimes people think that they have good ideas and they just have confidence, and their ideas actually trash. But like I talk about my ideas with other people who have assured me that they are good ideas. So I have there's consensus here. So I'm like working on a few things I'm really, really excited about, and yeah, I'm just
moving time to do your own things.
Yes, finding time, setting time for myself, prioritizing myself, saying no. Like I never used to say no. I used to say yes to everything. Like what? How was I moving? But yeah, now I know, and I love saying no now. Like no, you want me to? No, I can't come now. Like it's amazing. But also, I do have a whole pandemic to blame it on. Like oh, sorry, coronavirus, can't come to your party. Like, but yeah, no, it's. I feel like now I just outed myself to all these people I said no to. Like, sorry guys, I'm just doing me. I need to prioritize myself because honestly the way I was operating before didn't make any sense because I was like working at like 300% for 6 months of the year and then I would crash for 6 months of the year. So it's like balance. It's very simple. Like you don't have to be living like this. So yeah, we're moving different in 2020 and beyond, and yeah, working on personal projects that I'm really excited about.
I'm so excited as well to see what you are going to be up to in the coming months, years.
Thank you.
And thanks so much for sitting down with me today.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and press the bell so that you're notified every time I upload to my channel. See you soon.